Hello, welcome to the Juggz HQ. We are now located in an underground bunker.
We decided it was too much, so we've got under.
In right now.
Wait, what's that bit in War of the Worlds where it's like, we'll raise a new nation on cricket, and none of that that's us right now.
We've got so many cans of canned peaches, which initially came in handy.
They got Peachy's name on them, though, so we can't have them. That was his fucking plan all along. The bastard.
Very clever.
It's just slices. It's just peaches slices.
It's just slices.
It's just slices.
So hello everyone, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the bunker.
Are somewhere else for other reasons.
It does look quite dark down here.
Dark and dingy. It's warmer there than the last place, I feel. At the moment, I feel it's warmer.
It is currently warmer, that's so true.
We are closer to the Earth's core. we went really far down.
We carry on, we might find dinosaurs. I've seen those documentaries.
What are the people called in the land before time? The ones
Dinosaurs?
who live underground? No, not land before time.
What are those long-legged for?
I definitely said that wrong. I heard dinosaurs land before time. No, oh god, time travel. H.G. Wells.
Troglodytes. No.
The time machine.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What, the people? Oh, what in H.G. Wells's Time Machine?
Time Machine.
Oh, I love H.G. Wells.
Not Land Before Time.
H.G. Wells's classic weird fiction short Time Machine.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember them, and I remember them scaring me when I was a child, but I forgot the
Scared me too. Scared me too. Yeah, they were very scary. Anyway, well, we're somewhere else, specifically because we're having work done in the venue.
Morlocks! The Eloy and the Morlocks.
The Morlocks. Morlocks. Perfect.
Morlocks.
Yeah. We're not the Eloy.
Eloy are like the we're gonna kill everyone people. Spoiler alert.
No, the Eloy are the ones who live in like the paradise. They're but then they're farmed meat. Oh no, we're Eloy.
Is that how? Oh my god, is that how it works?
Are
Oh yeah, you're
Eloy?
right. They're like the. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they're
oh my god, I
farmed meat.
completely misremembered the entire plot of one of my favorite things.
But you could go back
Crikey.
in time and fix it.
If only I could. The only thing allowed in this bunker: Cher and H.G. Wells.
Oh my god,
the least problematic weird fiction novelist.
I could dig that.
He made it into the bunker. Fuck you, H.P. Lovecraft. Not allowed in our bunker.
Is H.G. Wells all right?
H.G. Wells is all right, I think.
Is he?
Generally.
Are you sure? Is he one of your dead crushes?
Oh, one of them. But like, yeah, H.G. Wells generally, I think, I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Let us know in the comments if
Didn't he
H.G.
write
Wells...
a book about wargaming and saying it's not for women?
I mean, that's kind of a modern mentality too. So it could... People are still kind of banging on about that, honestly.
Is he wrong?
Yeah, definitely wrong. But what I'm saying is...
I just don't know what the current...
Definitely wrong.
Just keeping up to date with what everyone's saying.
There's certain things that Lovecraft... It's hard to be a man in the hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what
Thank
they're
you.
saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, running out of oxygen in the bunker.
Yeah. So hello everybody. We are going to start the show now, and hopefully not as much talk about worms, but some worm talk.
Oh my
worm
god!
update.
A lot of people in the comment section really put their heart into saying they're sorry about your worm.
And your mollusk. Well, yours did make
My
a recovery,
mollusk,
though,
yes.
didn't it?
Yeah. Well, mine
did not.
No, indeed.
No.
Indeed.
Why are you laughing at his name?
So today we're going to catch up. Today we're going to catch up with what we've all been up to.
Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe?
Oh, Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
And then we are going to, after that, talk about a little-known painting competition called Golden Women.
No, it's not. No, I told you 8 times what happened, and you listened.
Sarni's on parade.
Yeah, okay, Sarni's on parade. Whoa, I would go to that.
I would go
Could
to
you
that.
imagine, like a
would go to
really
Sarni's
nicely
on
just
parade,
made Sarni's, like maybe like some accoutrements.
Yeah.
Can you explain what a Sarni is for the Americans among us?
Oh, for people not from the UK, a Sarni is a sandwich, or as
the worst of all witches.
The sandwich.
Sandwich. Which is a 2 pieces of bread and stuff between it, oftentimes. Sandwich.
I still quite like the Buzz Lightyear, the newer Buzz Lightyear. I don't know if you've seen the newer Buzz Lightyear.
I thought it was good.
I like their idea of having the meat on the outside and the bread in the middle.
Actually, I quite
you
like...
got to touch the meat.
Meat fingers. You get meat fingers then.
I quite like a little bit of both. I like that, but then another sandwich on the outside, making a club sandwich.
What, like a tripler?
Yeah, like a tripler.
See, now Sarni's on parade.
Sarni's on parade.
A graphic which, for no reason, will be the only overlay work I ever do. Sarni's on parade.
Do you open it up to display them like a display board, or do you keep it?
I feel like it's
sealed?
a display board, sort of like. Is it if you like half caught someone out at a picnic?
Oh, you caught me.
I feel that you should display it in all its forms. So like what you'd have if you're having a lunchbox, Sarni. Then maybe if you're doing traditional tea.
How does it work with toasted? Like how does
cutting off the old crusts?
That
for
would
the,
be
for the kids
always.
the
What
snobs?
do you mean the kids?
You don't have to always do that. It depends. It depends which.
How fucking dare you? You know I hate those crusts. You know he knew I hate crust, and he said that.
What?
That he said that you cut off the crust for kids and snobs.
Which
and
one
I am
are
both. So
double whammy.
Rude.
I don't cut them off. I just eat up to the crust and then stop.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like
That's like the same with less.
that way I don't get
finesse.
caught out.
See, I was told to put hairs on your chest, and I still haven't got any hair.
My granddad told me it'd make your hair curly, and I was like, great, I'll avoid that then. I don't want curly hair.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that was a thing in like the olden times where you're a wee girl and you want curly hair. And I was like, absolutely, just spent like £500 on a pair of GHDs, granddad. Absolutely fucking not. Like, dodge me.
Grannies and granddads, the lies that, like, don't
Oh my
stick your
God.
tongue out. If the wind changes, you'll stay like that forever. I used to try and test that.
Yeah, I think we all
Sorry.
took our grandparents' advice.
Yeah,
as, like,
absolutely.
actual-
I think we got to be fair to our grandparents because up until the
They'd
modern,
probably never seen a picture of a raccoon.
up until the internet, they were just going off stuff they saw.
Vibes.
Yeah.
They were like
Vibes and shit they saw.
vibes and stuff they saw, and maybe occasionally someone would be like, "What ho? Have you heard of elephants?" And they're like, "What?"
There's a
Which
book
is an
about that.
elephant.
You can read it. No, they had books wrong.
I didn't read them though.
Yeah,
Depends
they
where
might
you're
have.
from.
Yeah,
Swaddling
true.
Coat, Derby.
My grandparents are from
not
Glasgow.
books.
0%.
They use that for
chance.
warmth. They use books for warmth.
In Glasgow, they do. They
Yeah,
do.
that's true.
No,
Yeah,
my
padding.
grandparents are great. Shout out to my grandparents.
Shout out,
To all the grandparents out there.
all of them.
All of them.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about Sarni's on parade after this.
Sarni's on parade. So PeachCon, I'm going to do a
Sarni's
version.
on parade.
But I'm-
PeachCon 2.
PeachCon 2, but I also
Electric
think
Boogaloo.
Sarni's on parade would be a fun little touch as well.
Oh my god, I need you to know
Speechless.
that right now,
Actually-
if you were to say to me, you'd say to me, Rob, do
Alright.
you want to be in Army's parade? I'd be like, absolutely do not. give
Sarni's
a
on
fuck.
parade, Rob.
Yeah. but-
Okay, what would your Sarni on parade be?
Ooh.
Oh my
Let's do
God.
this now.
Well, admission, my display board would be like a half cut off
He's
piece
already
of like
thought about
tartan
Fuck,
kind
I
of
was
like
gonna do an off-cut piece of tartan.
yeah, as like the base. Then yeah, I definitely need like a
on it.
thermos. Yeah, obviously I'm gonna color key it
Ah,
in.
you're going for I'm a lumberjack and I've just gone on my lunch.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go that rustic. I'm not going to go for like open metal tin, like
Yeah,
Sarni
yeah,
case, but I am maybe going to go for like wicker basket kind of
So
energy.
wait,
So
are we
picnic
going
style.
Goldilocks a little bit more?
No, I'm going more like you know,
Who's-
date
who's-
picnic. Date picnic. That's
date
the
night
energy.
picnic. Okay, so what's the Sarni?
It's a great question. I'm not going to go for anything fancy. I won't even consider the idea that a cucumber is on that board.
Fair
Yeah,
enough, fair
get out.
You are very English. Please bear
Right,
this
you
in
want
mind.
cucumber.
He wants
now I know
cucumber
you're
and
fancy.
tea. You snob.
No crusts on mine. Thank you. Nice little squares, please.
You're gonna high tea it, aren't you?
Like, damn right, I
Oh,
see it.
you.
I'm gonna. Now this is super controversial, and I know it's out there, so I'm hoping it's kind of like doing a resin pour sort of as a sandwich. But I'm gonna go cheese and pickle.
Oh, it's a
Strong-
classic.
strong.
What's the pickle?
What is it? Well,
Yeah.
something you find yourself in often.
You find yourself in a sandwich because you're fucking in bread.
Wow.
It's so funny. It's so hurtful.
That's good.
That was
That was
good.
quick.
That was good.
I
I'm in
debated.
awe. I'm in awe.
The small amount of silence was not me debate. It was me debating whether or not to actually say it, but I did, and I'm sorry. And I
I'm
feel
not.
bad.
I'm proud of you.
We are sorry to everyone out there who's a little inbred.
And to all the
get out the roll.
grandparents.
Just get out the roll.
But I'm sure you guys love armies on parade.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's on parade. But either way, okay. So what's the pickle?
Oh, just pickle. Just pickle. Branston
Sweet
pickle.
Branston pickle.
Okay.
Sweet pickle.
What's the pickle? What pickle is there?
Like
There's Branston
some kind
pickle.
of-
Piccalilli.
I had
What?
a
What's that?
Do you know what piccalilli is?
No.
It's
I had
the yellow
a-
stuff.
I had a carrot chutney the other day. It's
carrot chutney?
Carrot chutney.
You're a monster. What is that?
It's carrot chutney.
Carrot chutney with Wensleydale.
And going for some straight up cathedral cheddar and some pickle.
Oh, Liz introduced me to a nice bit of cheese called Wookie Hole. Sounds real. I might be Wookie Hole.
Wookie Hole?
Wookie Hole.
Wookie Hole.
Have you had Black Bomber yet?
Oh, my God.
Black Bomber. Great cheese.
It's
a great cheese.
No,
I gave you a wee bit of it.
Yes.
I gave you a wee. I went
remember.
like, and he took it.
Right, we've got nowhere, and I need to edit through this. So, what sandwiches would yours be? And chat and people in the comments, let us know.
Okay, so in order, I feel like my favorite sandwich is goat's cheese and roasted red pepper.
Jesus, all right. Sorry, you and the
You're
queen.
so fancy.
That's not a Sarnies on Parade winning sandwich, though.
It
so
might be.
I would.
Not with that attitude, ain't it?
I don't know if it is. It's not like I want to do.
Well, it depends who's judging it. If it's the queen, then
I want to do like a spin on a classic. So I would do like a chicken bacon stuffing moment, but I would like layer it with a little bit of like toasted bread in the middle. But the toasted bread would be, I don't know, like soaked in something like whatchamacallit. You know, in Friends, how they have the moist maker.
Yeah, I do know the moist maker.
Okay, so a moist maker in Friends is like a Christmas
what they call
sandwich.
Joey.
I don't get it.
It makes people moist.
Oh, I get it. So it's basically the middle bit of the sandwich is soaked in gravy, and then you put it all together. I would probably, I feel like I would do a chicken bacon and stuffing and make it almost like kind of Christmassy themed.
That's
do some
quite
toasted
nice.
elements,
Yeah.
like a side of, I don't know, some kind of fancy chili or ginger hot chocolate. Make it like very, very festive, very warm.
Peach, what are you going for?
I think traditional cucumber sandwiches.
High tea,
with some tea, obviously. Yeah. Maybe some scones on the side. I don't know.
How are you presenting the tea? What's the situation there?
Oh, classic. You can have like, I forget the name of the type of cloth. You know, the traditional sort of cottage. Gingham, thank you. Yeah. Some of that.
Okay.
Some of that. Gonna have teapot, traditional teapot, little bone china sauces.
Oh, you're going high tea.
We're going high tea.
He's going high tea.
We're going bone china. We're going bone china.
Bone china.
Bone china.
Can he be putting the tea in first?
I will
Got to
hire
put the
a
milk
butler
in.
to serve said tea
That's
as well.
cheating. That's not in the rules of Sarnies on Parade.
Yeah, is it
I'm
made
making
from
the
bone?
rules because it's my show.
Yeah.
Right?
Are they made from bone? Is that what that means?
A what?
Are they made from bone?
Bone china. I think so.
Don't know.
Because that's pretty dark.
I mean, kind of sick though.
Yeah, I know.
Is it
Right?
the Chinese?
Well, I mean, it's
bones? I hope
English.
not.
It's English, so I'm
Bone
assuming
meal.
it's really bad.
It's probably that, actually.
If it's an English tradition, I assume it's really evil.
I do need to. I actually generally don't know.
I think
that.
it used, because I feel like I've Googled this before, and I feel like it was made of like bone powder at one point, and now it's not. But
Yeah,
let
it's
me
just like some
Google
form
it.
of ceramic, isn't it?
There you go. The raw materials from which include bone ash.
Bone ash.
Along with other things. But like I said, I think is bone china still made of bones? Bone china is made from china clay, china stone, and bone ash made from animal bones.
It's made from bone.
Bone.
Whoa.
Sipping out of someone's skull.
Wow.
Bone china, actually, your granny's tea set, probably the closest you're going to get to some kind of coronate ritual.
That's kind of like pretty metal, actually, if you think
fucking
about
sick.
it. Like Peach is out there just like drinking like tea from the skull of a donkey.
That sponsored donkey you had when you were 15.
Yeah, he's dead.
Would that mean my tea's Assam?
That is good.
Sorry. Sorry for that dad joke.
So, we have all been up to stuff this week. Louise.
Am I starting?
Is that okay with you?
I think so. I just don't. What? So
You can take a moment, or I can start and then you can. What do you want to do?
I can do
Dogs
it.
everywhere
Good.
screaming.
So I had like a rough week, like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Over it.
I was going to say how.
Hashtag
New just like
New year, new army.
What were we saying today? Just like, God, can you stop? I am not your toughest soldier. Wrong bitch. Stop giving me your toughest battles. I am not your strongest soldier.
That's true.
I'm over that now. I'm over whatever, being sad and getting kicked out.
Have you got a new
therapy.
therapist yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I keep getting kicked out. No, I'm joking. But
We are looking for another one.
we are looking again. If you're in the Juggz chat,
There was someone in the chat that said they are a therapist.
Oh wow!
So I have to go back over and have a reading.
Either way, I've been doing okay this week. So I had something that would give you anxiety, but I've decided to be a big brave girl. So because of all the shit that happened, I was late making my video, right? So I got my video finished on Sunday night,
Sunday.
and I was like, cool, I'm ready to post it on Monday. And then I was like, because Monday's not the best day to post a video, I don't think. So I was like, how about instead of me posting it late on a day that I'm not comfortable with, I just miss an upload day.
Oh.
I just decided like I'm going to post it tomorrow instead. Like,
So you got yourself a week or so in advance, really, haven't you?
Kind of. Oh, that's a way of thinking of it.
There you go. Girl math.
That's girl math.
Content math.
Do you know what girl math is?
I've heard of running math, but not girl math.
I don't know what running math is, but girl math is essentially just like girls trying to convince themselves that what they're doing is okay by doing ridiculous maths like that.
Got you.
So it'll be like, well, actually, these shoes that I want to buy are 50% off because I didn't buy the pair I wanted last year.
Nice.
Yeah.
So actually, these ones are a discount.
That's just smart, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not girl math. It's just smart.
Exactly.
So true.
So true. So true. But
to be supportive.
yeah, that's good girl math. So I've decided that I was just like, I'm like, cool. I will just post it on time on Friday, and I will try and not be a control freak about being late, but now I'm early. But yes, that was good. So my video is about 3D sculpting.
Oh, yes.
And I think, did I mention this? I think I did mention it last week. So I won't bang on about what the video is about, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm really
I'll be looking out for it tomorrow.
And what were you able to do with...
Oh, yeah. I did some streaming.
Yes.
I've been streaming.
Something about that as
You've
well.
gone streaming.
I know. I want to talk to you about that too, because I think you're going to get into streaming soon as well. That'd be great. But yeah, I did some streaming.
I'd like everyone to know I'm already into streaming.
And you're very good at it, Rob.
That's not true.
Yes,
that's not true.
Very true.
You are. Yeah, you did some streaming, which was super fun. Yeah, how are you finding being back in the saddle, as they say? Because it's different to creating videos, right?
It's really good fun. I only popped on for like an hour and a half yesterday because I just wanted to chat about the thing we're going to chat about.
Yeah.
Sarni's on parade. But it was really good fun. It's nice, and it wasn't super duper scary like I thought it would be. And yeah, we watched the Astartes trailer, which is have you seen it yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh my God. It looks very dope. I need to think about it more because there's lots of things in it that I haven't thought about. Like the fact that it's like Mark 7 Space Marines and stuff. Like they've got all the
things
like
are all in Legends.
Yeah. And it's all coming out in 2026.
Oh, see that? Rob told me that today, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. It's quite a long way teaser, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's something that people are very excited about.
For sure.
So they're no longer mainstream. Power armor is now what people are gonna
watch.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's weird. It's not going to be Primaris.
Cool for Horus Heresy though.
Yes.
Yeah,
like very cool for SDS. Like another big win for them. They're like, thanks. Great. Love that. But is it only? I think it's like. I feel like it's going to be like. Is it one storyline or is it different storylines? Because there's orcs and Tyranids in there as well, and that's not very Mark 7.
Do you want me to talk about what might be happening in that, or the general infrastructure of like what was and is Warhammer Plus?
Both.
So Warhammer Plus. So if anyone doesn't know, just catch everyone up. Games Workshop launched like their big like subscription service, Warhammer Plus. Even the Plus and the whole thing looked exactly like Apple TV. It's very funny. Louise, you got hired into that company.
What?
Yeah. Now you got hired as their payment presenter. But what was really interesting as an external observer, because Peachy was still there at the time, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Peachy was training me.
Exactly. So as an external observer, I was like, they were like, it's an animations thing.
Oh, no. We had that internally. We were like, great, we've got all this stuff, we're ready. And then they launched it as an animation thing. And we were like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah. And then so like I think while they've lost all of their presenters and had to hire new ones.
Nearly most.
Yeah, nearly most.
I think apart from one.
Yeah, all the good ones.
That's actually quite
anyway.
sad. Oh, thank you. Hey, no, the people work. No,
yeah, you defended Louise. Go on. I was giving you an opportunity. I was giving you.
Were you?
Yes.
Thank you, dickhead. I'd like to take this opportunity right now to say the presenters of Warhammer Plus currently are fabulous, talented people.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Shout out to them.
Go. Yeah.
So fuck you, Rob. I will join them in saying fuck you, Rob.
I meant at the time. But yeah, there's loads of wonderful people there. But
thank you.
All of the other departments in Games Workshop, obviously it's super under-resourced and underutilized, as you both know because you were there.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah, that fucking sucked.
Yeah. And so obviously like they lost a ton of the animators. Also, a lot of the animators and animation studios no longer wanted to work with Games Workshop.
So how do you know this?
Because I talk to people.
I don't.
Because obviously there's no credits, there's no accreditation.
Oh, so silly billies.
Yeah.
Like we could talk about that for a little bit, how like the voice actors aren't allowed to put their voice acting credits on their IMDb's, which I feel is illegal.
I don't know, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So obviously, like less and less people want to work for them, and this might shock you, but the money they're offering for the jobs also not high.
Honestly,
No.
I'm actually. Why am I shocked?
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I still am shocked though.
You remember the story about the forward for Black Library?
Oh my god!
What
Yeah,
is
we've
this?
told that one before. Where like, so Henry Cavill was like, "Hey, I like Warhammer. I'm a nerd."
Oh yeah, I remember this story.
And then obviously Games Workshop was like frothing. And then so like there was like a big plan in the marketing department, like, okay, calm down everyone. We're gonna be really professional. We're gonna like reach out to his agent and we're gonna ask for like rates and stuff, obviously for him to come here and do so. Whilst this was all happening, Black Library was like, "Oi, Henry, give you a tenner."
To do a forward.
Oi, Henry, oi, Hez.
It was 50 quid. It was 50 quid.
Yeah.
Was it 50 quid?
It was a ridiculously low.
£50.
Obviously, this is all alleged. I love the Black Library
It's
people.
not alleged, it's true.
Like whilst everyone was like, everybody,
Protect them.
like everybody was like, okay, we're gonna do this really professionally. The Black Library people were like,
but that's our standard rate.
I like
is it Henry fucking Cavill's standard
I like
rate?
that they could have just sent them like a launch box for some miniatures, which would have been more for him.
Oi, Henry, give you 50 quid.
I still think 50 quid for a forward is really low.
It's also extremely low.
If you've ever done any contracting work for Games Workshop, do let us know the hilarious amounts that they've offered you in the past.
Was it 50 quid for Henry Cavill? I don't know if that went down very well.
I don't think it did.
I don't think it did, no.
But yeah, so Warhammer Plus as like a animation, like online streaming service. Obviously, like they had to like, it's just a weird, like it's kind
That
of
was
like
the thing everyone was excited for.
that was the thing everyone was excited for, even though there was
Annoyingly.
loads of other cool stuff.
Yeah.
But then now they've had to pivot and they do other stuff. But basically, it makes loads of money. As I understand it, it brings in a ton of cash.
Warhammer Plus.
Warhammer Plus.
Oh, for sure.
Because you do need it also because they kind of like, it's kind of a trick as well, right? You also need, in order to use the apps for like Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000, you need a subscription to Warhammer Plus to utilize all the features. So what they can be saying is like, oh, there's 100,000 people who are subscribing to watch the animations, but actually it might be 95,000 people that are subscribing because they want to use the app, right, for the rules or whatever it might be, and only like 5,000 who watch anything. It's really weird, right? You like subscribe.
But they do have numbers for how many people watch things.
I'm sure they do.
Forbidden knowledge, as we know.
Yeah, it's forbidden knowledge.
Yes.
knowledge.
You
You're not
got
allowed
told
to
it
know.
was forbidden knowledge. Is that correct?
I wanted to play a fun game because we had the guy who was lovely. Can't remember. I don't believe him.
I've edited it.
Either way, there was
At
the
25
lovely
minutes.
man in who knew, I don't even think it was him, lovely guy in who knew the numbers behind some of my masterclass tutorials. And obviously I was like, oh, I've never seen this before. This is really cool. This means I can find out which one was my most popular one. So I can like be like, okay, we'll make more like that.
Exactly. It's useful info, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was like, oh, like say gems were more popular than like our full tutorials or something, or something more generic, because after a while we started to become kind of like a new release program where we would just paint something new, but I tried to make more evergreen things. Either way, I just wanted to know what tutorials of mine, specifically mine, not anyone else's, so it wouldn't become like a who's more popular competition.
You're competing with yourself.
It was never about that because Aidan was a better painter. But I kind of was like, oh, let me guess what my five most popular things were. So I was like, okay, definitely the Faces tutorial, because that and the guy was like, because he was like playing along and it was a fun game. And then I got kind of like shut down and told to stop because I wasn't allowed to know.
So dumb.
Like,
I might just leave a silence in the edit so everyone could just fill in the.
I wasn't allowed to know.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's actually really
like,
bad.
I'm literally
It's actually really unhelpful for creators to know numbers because then they can't. It actually doesn't
Someone
help.
should tell YouTube. Like someone
and
should
Twitch and all the other platforms.
Someone should tell these massive platforms which host billions of creators that actually knowing your numbers is a really shit thing to do.
Super shit.
Yeah.
It's just kissing a win. That's what you want to do, isn't it?
Yeah. You just want to be like, what should I make? You're like, I don't know what was popular before, so I'll just do whatever.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess
Oh, look at the comments. Oh, they're disabled.
I didn't even have any comments. I couldn't even know what was the most popular.
Right. Well, now we know, Louise, what popular is. You making videos, which is great.
Well, I wouldn't know because it's Gundam apparently.
So anyway, there's the new animation coming out, but I'm assuming because they basically, while they announced all the animations, they also shut down all the animations as well. Like they're online and they're like now fairly litigious about all of the like people making animations and stuff
with their IP.
With their IP. Mm-hmm. I think we're entering a stage where like it's just the enshittification, right? They're like, oh, it's all ours. And you're like, okay, fair enough. And they're like, but we're gonna do a really bad job as we.
The animations are nice.
Some are okay. I think for PlayStation
nice.
2 graphics.
Oh,
but some is fine. But my question to you is, 2026 is coming, so that's where we're at with some stuff coming out, which is fine. It's fine. But you, Louise, talking about creating stuff. What was you done this week?
I don't know. What have I done?
Did any drawing?
I did. He's right. I completely forgot about that because I spent.
Sounds like a biggie.
Yeah,
it is a biggie. I designed the next 2 Rascal Town miniatures.
Oh yeah.
Have I shown you them?
No.
What? Oh my god!
Unbelievable.
You're going to fucking love them. So no spoilers.
Am I going to shit my balls?
You're going to shit your balls out your ass. You're going to love them so much.
Where else would I shit them from?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of another hole that you shit from.
No, let's not.
Rob's letters pop off.
I'm listening.
Anyway, so I designed the next 2 Rascal Town miniatures, and I don't want to give any spoilers, Rob. What's like a good spoiler? One isn't a goblin. That's a good spoiler.
That's a good spoiler.
Oh.
One is not a goblin, and will be our biggest thing we've made yet.
Correct.
Oh,
that's good. That's a good one to say.
I'm guessing a troll.
Oh, are you?
I'm making it up.
Okay. Rob can't guess because he knows what it is.
I know what it is.
Troll is actually a good.
Troll would be a good one to finally do. Because
it's not a troll.
Some of the inspiration initially was like trolls in the pantry, right? Some of the initial inspiration.
A lot of my early goblin concepts where I just doodled goblin was because I wanted to make like a spin-off of Trolls in the Pantry called Ravenous Rascals.
Ravenous Rascals.
I thought it was going to be goblins in the garters.
What's a garter? Why would they be in there?
Because they're wearing sexy clothes.
Oh, they're sexy goblins. I see. Oh,
ass goblins.
Oh, I've got goblins in my garters.
Ass goblins. Wait, have you seen that book with just goblins with huge asses?
No. I would have seen that book, Louise.
Because it's on a shelf.
Oh, sorry.
It's like the first book on a shelf.
Goblins with huge.
We got to get on with talking, Louise. You can't. You do it later. Do it later. In the Patreon video will be a deep dive into goblins with huge asses. Louise, you got to keep talking.
Goblins with huge asses.
Why does it look like a Mills and Boons like front cover?
Because it is, Peach. Oh, it is. Yeah.
A novel about goblins with huge asses by Emily Sackenball.
The follow-up is 50 Shades of Green.
The cops tried to stop him, but he'll never stop painting those huge green asses. Anyway, so that was the initial plan, was to kind of...
Also, just so you know, that's actually Louise's pseudonym on writing books. That's all hers.
Emily Cockenball. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of my original sketches were like food-themed goblins and some big trolls. So I actually do have a few concepts for trolls, which we haven't used yet.
That's fun.
But for now, it is not a troll.
How long does something like concepting? Because basically what you're doing is concepting a mini, right?
Yeah. I'm not. This isn't like the final illustration, or it's literally just giving something to the designer that he can use to.
So then, how long does something like concepting take, and then how long
Depends.
would like? Yeah, I know it's a defensive thing, but like is it that there's like a?
Same.
Is there like? Like what's the process a little bit is what I'm asking for. Like you have like a general idea and then you start looking for bits. So
okay, so let's pick
one of the old ones.
a theme. Or okay, so Pirate Goblin, right?
Yeah.
So we picked Pirate Goblin because the salute theme for that year was pirate.
Okay.
Quite easy. Like pretty loosey-goosey concept. So pirate's quite a good theme because like
it's about one of the best themes.
Yeah, exactly.
Ninja,
there's a lot.
Samurai.
There's a lot that you can do to hearken at it's a pirate.
Oh my God.
Not the most difficult concept, a pirate goblin. But then it's like, so a lot of the time I'll just spend days thinking about it in my brain hole.
Yeah.
I will not, and this was a problem I had with our most recent goblin, is that I didn't sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning because I was so busy just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like without sketching it, because I'm not a very natural sketcher.
Okay.
Which is funny. I have to I have to work really hard to make an image look good. I cannot just like sketch. I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So when I'm drawing, I'm actually concentrating on trying to make it look good. I can't just like. Maybe I could if I practiced.
Oh, you mean
more.
you can't do like a rough version and neaten it up?
I do a rough version and neating it up, but it requires a lot of thought to do that rough version.
So your rough versions end up being more sort of like final pieces.
Almost. I'll do a few rough versions and then I'll try and make one look good.
Yeah,
it's essentially how I do all my art. But so I'll spend a long time thinking about it, and then it goes through basically a shit ton of, like I said, rough sketches until I find something that looks good. So with the Pirate Goblin, went through, I think, 3 iterations before I had like weapon options for him, like different like pets and stuff on the side. And I'll give all of those sketches to Tom, like including all this stuff I do on the side. And like you saw the concept sheet I gave to Tom, it's like a front-on sketch, a more detailed middle sketch, which has like more like details, better anatomical proportions. I do some like little thematic things at the side where, spoiler alert, I draw like a sword and a shield and what that would look like in world. A little like, I don't know, guy at the side and then some different pose options. And that's what I give to Tom.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
And then he takes that away and then I assume he then comes up with some physical...
Yeah,
well, renders,
He'll do some mock-ups. Yeah, he'll do some mock-ups. And that's the biggest bit that requires the back and forth.
Yeah.
Remember the debacle with the Pirate Goblin's hands?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolute nightmare.
Really?
I had such a specific like pose
Which
in
honestly,
mind.
I could not understand.
Couldn't you?
No. It's not that I didn't understand what you wanted. I didn't know why you wanted that. You were like, I want
It's
him.
a very specific.
And if you go onto like roguehobbies.com and look at the Pirate Goblin, which is where all the rascals are.
It's the cowboy pose.
Yeah, but like fingers out was
Cowboy
kind of
pose, but like ready.
Yeah.
Cowboy pose, fingers out. And Tom was like, no. This is like if for some reason that angle just wasn't braining with Tom to the extent that I was like taking videos of myself like in the pose and Tom was like, what are you doing?
It's kind of funny as well because last night I did a bunch of goblins yesterday and I was taking the pirate stuff and
doing some pirates.
I was like, hands on that look really good. Like, but at the time I was like, you sound like a crazy fool. Yeah, you sound like a crazy fool.
I was like
sky high dreams and fingers out. I don't know what you need.
I was like drawing it at different angles so we could see like every and then like.
Do you think sometimes though that because I've had this where you give too much information that then becomes even more confusing?
Absolutely not.
Oh, right. Okay.
Absolutely. There's only 5 fingers on one hand and we're both in the same pose. We got there eventually though.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like a bit more adaptive at 3D sculpting, I'm hoping that means I can give better feedback for Tom because he could literally give me the STL and I can literally manipulate it in a way that looks a bit more like what I envisioned. Maybe Tom would spit on me for saying that, but
maybe
he probably would.
One of the things I really enjoyed about the process is because you showed me the most recent goblins is the world building aspect. Because
okay, so the big one.
Yeah, because you got to add you've added a bunch of little extra bits.
So I've hinted to the big one on the little goblin. Which is really fun.
Yeah,
so there's like a little subtle hint to what the big one is.
But you've also built some critters, right? There's some critters. And then you've added this is what the critter looks like as a baby. And then
of course.
And then as the critter does X, and that's why it's in this model. And I was like, that's cool.
So one of the little side sketches is a baby version of one of the elements which is on the bigger goblin. And implied thing is that when it gets older, it transforms to look like the element on the bigger goblet.
Got you.
Yeah, I wonder how much in the a Games Workshop or any miniature company, how much how much stuff is still left on paper, right?
Oh yeah.
People
a lot, yeah.
love Easter eggs. Designers love Easter eggs and like hiding little things.
Well, they're not allowed to talk to people, are they? So
no, exactly. So this is. No, we're not talking about that. Like one of the sculptors being like, "Help me!" on a fucking troll.
Aren't we? Please pay me more.
Sculptors at Games Workshop. If you can hide, give me a pay rise on a miniature, that would be pretty cool. But yeah,
Maybe.
I love it. I've been really enjoying.
I used to write messages
building
on the bases underneath the armies.
What did
you?
say?
Yeah, I used to do like Duncan loves sheep.
So just truth bombs.
Just
True bombs.
just facts.
Just facts.
I write facts on the bottom of my base.
If you line the squad up right, it might say a small message.
Oh, that's fun. That's super fun.
I'm not going to say what it is because it slanders certain managers.
Duncan.
And they suck.
Certain managers suck.
Okay, but you
Should have wrote that on the bottom of all my masterclass minis.
Would it be fair to say that, like, taking a week off, you've decided, not a week off, sorry, moving stuff around a bit, but still doing work, like streaming and doing other stuff?
Like, giving myself an extra week to do other bits sounds more accurate.
And
right?
because you seem
I
happier.
forgot that I did drawing.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, you've done loads of planning, haven't you? I guess so.
I guess. Like, the drawing was the big thing I needed to do this month, and I was so stressed about it because I've had a shit month.
Yeah, shit month.
And I just couldn't, like, drawing Rascal and doing Rascal Town stuff is like my fun thing that I have to do when I'm happy and full of joy and whimsy. And there was just very little whimsy. So I kept putting it off. And no, but it's like I've started to do things that I really like that I need to do again, which isn't just my job. And I think you'll probably have a similar sentiment to, why do we need to do YouTube all the time? Why can't we do streaming a little bit and stuff as well? But it's hard to get out of like your habits, I guess.
Yeah.
Peach, what have you been up to?
I've had a couple of good weeks. So I did my battle report last week, which was fun. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed making the battle reports. I find that they're, from start to finish, the whole process is just fun.
Okay.
Oh, it's what you like to do.
Yeah. And so just setting up the boards, playing through the game, taking lots of shots from different angles, doing some filming, doing a bit where I like move a figure, re-angle the camera, remove the figure. So I've got different angles of it being positioned and moved because I know like in the eventual edit, I'm going to have like, because it looks better when you like move it from one angle and then it gets placed from another angle.
Yeah.
I just
have
thought
that
it was,
cut.
Yeah. I just thought it was quite nice and stuff like that. So I'd obviously play through the game as the game played and then turn that into a nice little story. I already had a story in mind, but whatever the result was, and it was great. And then found some cool effects. I can do like laser shots, try it. So one thing I did find, which was really annoying, there's something called the Internet Archive where you can get royalty-free like music and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's where I got the Sharp.
What the?
Sharp soundtrack is from there, and it's royalty-free. So that was why I was able
Is this
to
where
use it.
everyone's getting the royalty-free shite from?
Maybe it is.
Not
Maybe
all
it
of it,
is.
I don't know if all of it is, but some of it is. And the
I want
V
it.
soundtrack, because it was based on V, was royalty-free.
I didn't know that was a thing. I would have probably been using that for over a year now.
There we go. New thing. And
New
now
thing.
everyone knows.
Thanks,
know.
Well,
Peachy.
everyone who's watching this,
Yeah.
don't tell anyone else.
Well, I'm gonna chuck in a spanner into the works.
Oh, yeah.
The V one
no.
is the same as the Sharp, and if anyone's ever watched the 80s versions of V, it's got a particular soundtrack. There's a beginning sound intro music like Knight Rider or A-Team, and it's got an M1 as well. So I've got both of those, put them in, and the very end one,
Did it get flagged?
It got flagged. It's still under review at the moment, and in the end, I was like, I can either wait and then not be
That's so
monetized,
annoying.
or
publish it
with a different soundtrack. So the patrons have got like the one with the soundtrack at the end.
So it's not 100% success.
Yeah, it seems so. So yeah, so I was like, even though it's
that.
royalty free, and I've given the evidence and the link to contest or dispute the monetization thing, it's still in the process of pending. But yeah,
I
the
get
shot
really
one,
scared about that.
yeah. I mean, I've got loads of things from Epidemic Sound, so that's been quite fun.
We cancelled our subscription to all our.
No, we're going to re-get the subscription. Our subscription.
Thank you. It is our subscription. We share it. It's such a nice sharing.
It's a good
family.
idea. Yeah.
We should all share it.
We should all share it. That's so true. That's gone well. And then what have you been doing this week?
So this week I've got there's a game called Warhost by Andy Hobday and Paul Hicks, who do Baron's War.
Okay.
They've got a game called Baron's War, and they want to do a fantasy version. And they're like, would you be interested in doing a sponsored video? I was like, well, I like Baron's War. I want to do some more stuff. And what I really like is it feels a bit like, and this is kind of like where I don't want to make it sound like it's not its own thing, because it is its own thing, but they look like Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah.
Like the elves feel Lord of the Rings, the orcs feel Lord of the Rings, but not Warner Brothers elves, but more like classic, old school Lord of the Rings.
High elves?
Like do you mean like 80s
80s
Tolkien
early
vibes?
90s, yeah. So
sick.
It kind of feels like all the things I remember as a child. Like there was a shop in Derby called Amazing, and it used to have like loads of like lead figures on the little puddle bases, and it reminds me of a lot of the orcs from that era.
Aww.
Some of the early Ralpatha and Marauder orcs on Workshop as well.
Does Rob? He knows what this is.
I'm just nodding.
Okay. I thought I could see the light leaving his eyes as we said.
Long story
short.
just like it will when we get to Sarni's on parade. So.
Honestly, no, you'll get it. You'll get it.
No, I'll get it. I just anyway.
But yeah, I mean they look great, and I said I'll do a video. That's just taking me a bit longer. I don't know why it's taking me long this week. Oh no, I know why.
Yeah,
oh
something
my God.
really terrible
Oh
happened.
God.
Right?
You had it. I was waiting. You were like, "Yeah, it's been a great week," and I'm like, "Is it coming?"
It's because I pushed it. I've turned it into a positive.
No, you blocked it out. Your mind like trauma response.
So Monday went really well. I painted the orcs. I wanted to do 3 orcs, one from different undercoats, just so I can show like the video coaching different undercoats. The end result is pretty much the same, right? Tuesday, I did the elf, and I also did a human, because they don't have any models for the human factions at the moment, but they're basically like, use the Baron's War Knights and infantry that are out, because they're mega. Yeah. I was like, cool. So I started painting one of those. I was doing and I got all that done, apart from like some bits I need to finish off, like highlights, which I was going to do after I did my camera recording. So I did all the camera recording. Battery died. I was like, bugger.
No.
I was at a point where I was like,
bugger.
It's okay. It was like I literally started the next chapter or section, so I can do that bit again.
Like you haven't lost.
Yeah. I'll just swap the battery around, and then start that first 5 seconds again or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? I'll take the SD card out. I'll get that
Smart.
uploaded.
You're doing everything right.
So I put that in, got another one, and stuck that in, and then all the footage that I just recorded was no longer there on the SD card.
Why?
It deleted it all.
Why?
I don't know.
Because technology is a bastard, man, Louise.
It kept a couple. It kept a couple of random bits.
I would have bit it in half.
So I lost it. Because when I did my camera stuff, it was about an hour and a half's worth of recording, because I was like me, like going, oh, hang on, what's that? And like, you know, sometimes you redo takes, or you say things again because you didn't like the line and whatever. So it was like an hour and a half of me doing the full video talky head bits, which I cut up.
That's about how long it takes me to do.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I just quite like sitting down, talking and drinking my tea. And then all the painting from that day was gone.
I would have cried.
But I do have an image, which so I've and I used. In the end, I was like, it's a bit rough. So I just, when I did the Workbench Weekly thing, I just pulled it up because I was on about it to them. So I've just used that in the video. So what I'm going to do now is I've redone the recording to camera. That was fine.
Yeah.
But I've just gone at the very end. Didn't get around to doing a human. Here's the model. You tell me how I painted it. Right. Anyway, carry on.
So I've watched so many videos. I've watched so many videos where they've basically been like, I'm really sorry, my camera fucked and I lost this big bit of footage. And I have never been like,
shout out to Bobby Fingers.
Does Bobby Fingers do that?
Bobby Fingers' most recent video.
I haven't watched it.
Where
Did you watch it without me?
No. No, people were telling me on
You're
Discord.
the bastard.
People were telling me on Discord.
You're a liar.
No, I swear.
How can you swear on Bobby Fingers?
I swear on the president's life.
Good, me too. Is that something we can do now? I love that. Just lie on the Continue.
But yeah, like he does like a diorama of like Joe Rogan doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Not really a podcast, more like a propaganda piece, isn't it? Really. But either way.
Who's this guy being a spicy?
I just think Joe Rogan should be in jail.
Okay.
And then.
I used to really annoy one of the managers. It's a manager you really don't like.
Yeah.
Because I've always forgot it was called. I always
you
used to
call it Rogan Josh. My sister calls it Rogan Josh.
And he was like, "It's Josh Rogan." I was like, "Rogan." That's what I said.
Josh Rogan. It's not Josh Rogan.
But anyway, he does a whole.
You sweet man.
Yeah, he does a whole miniature diorama. This is Bobby Fingers who does it.
We love Bobby Fingers. We love it.
His whole video just didn't save, so he had to redo it. Like the whole thing.
I had two mistakes.
And obviously that takes him, it must take him months to make those.
Like I almost had this as well. Remember, I filmed my whole like 2-camera piece for my, whatchamacallit, my how to sculpt video, which is quite talking heavy because it's almost like a tutorial, but not really. And then I plugged it in, everything was fine, took it to my computer, and the audio sounded like it was coming from a tin can.
Yeah, mine's been a bit weird like that, even though I've not done anything different to the last one.
Then we tried it on Rob's computer. It crashed it twice. So I was like, and again, hour and a half, like I was so tired. It was late at night and because you had some streaming to do or something like that. And I just wanted to cry. But then it turned out my headphones are just fucked. So thank God it was okay.
So it wasn't actually the audio, it was your headphones.
Yeah, my headphones are still fucked. Don't know what's going on.
You answered it.
You just reminded me as well. I did a take.
Yeah.
I did the full recording, and what I must have done was press record by accident. And then when I went to press record, I turned it off.
Oh, you did the opposite. I've done that before where I've like paused, unpaused, but then the pause was the
So I actually did that take 3 times.
That's why doing stuff live is really good because people are like, your audio is broken. You're like, oh, thanks. You're like, that's good.
You have 200 managers.
Well, speaking of live as well, Ellison, who spoke,
yes, lovely. He's such a cute guy.
He reached out. I had a chat with him yesterday. I was a bit like,
Ellison
really
from Twitch. Hello.
Hi. I was like, back in my mind, I was like, I really can't afford the time, but it would be good to have a chat anyway because it's the only time I've really got spare. So I took an hour aside.
Do you mean you didn't have the time to like start streaming again, really?
No, the time. Well, I didn't have the time to have a video call for an hour because I needed to get edited because I was like, I lost a whole day really on that Tuesday.
I'd cry for a day before I even got around to
because normally
Wednesday
up. Is my VO day and Tuesday tends to be because I do all my.
I like it to be Monday. Monday is my preferred day for getting all my voiceover stuff.
Oh, you see, this is the thing. I do all my painting on a Monday. Then I edit all that painting footage in the evening, so it's ready for me doing the voiceover on the Tuesday and the talking head. So normally,
but I paint for like 3 weeks, so fair that you have a better schedule.
I guess my output was like I was trying to get videos to the patrons by Wednesday, which is why I ended up doing the workbench thing because at least they've got something midweek.
Treat.
Yeah. So I'm just a bit behind, and I've just finished cutting the VO before I came here, and then I need to upload and get that ready and sent to Andy and Paul to check. I imagine they'll be fine with it. But it's like I want them to look at it before.
Yeah, before you put it out there.
Yeah. Just in case there's a peach in a wrong
You spoke
place.
to the Twitch guy?
So yes, I spoke to the Twitch guy, and he was like, you should totally do it. And I was like, look, my biggest resource at the moment is time. I don't have enough time. And when I work all day and I work all evening, I want some time with the family. And that tends to be prime streaming time.
Fair enough. Yeah, you actually have a son who loves you and a wife
and
also
I
who
also
loves
like
you.
playing games with and chilling out with
Obviously,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
But he was saying that you could just use your work time and stream when you're doing your work time.
Yeah, some crazy ideas,
I know,
doesn't he?
Yeah. And I was like, will people watch that, me editing?
Literally exactly what I said to him as well. I'm like, you crazy motherfucker. He's like, people don't really give a fuck what you're doing.
Yeah. So I might do prep. I might
out.
do some prepping or something like that. And then people... But one thing he did suggest is like when I launch a video is do a premiere
party.
But also whilst it's being premiered, I then live stream me like responding to some comments and talking to the chat and
I was
stuff like
thinking
that.
about doing that tomorrow. Oh my God, it's tomorrow.
I know,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Friday's come around quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he suggested doing that. Not this week. I might
have
try
done
next
that
week.
before for a video where I streamed. This is when I was way ahead because usually on Friday I'm like up until the minute trying to get a video out. But maybe since I'm a little bit ahead of time, maybe I could try and get it out tonight. But I do a stream I do a stream like an hour before, and then I'm like, we're all gonna pop off to YouTube, watch the video, and then we come back and talk about it.
Can you not watch it on the stream whilst it's on the stream? Was that like a big no-no?
She could.
Yeah.
I could, I guess.
But
it's a whole lot of Louise.
Yeah, and also my videos tend to be somewhere between like 20 to 50 minutes.
That's quite a long time to react to yourself talking.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle that.
I can't handle it when Liz is literally playing the same video 3 times in a row. With
I think I would. I think I would struggle. I think I would struggle to talk about myself to people whilst about myself whilst listening to myself. I think that sounds like an absolute nightmare for me.
That's tough.
As someone who hates to be perceived.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I am very serious about doing some streaming. I want to do some streaming. I just need to find a way that works for me from a time point of view that doesn't impact my work or my family time. And also, it gets a point in the evening where I don't even do podcasts or like video calls because it's like, I want Liz to actually go to bed and sleep without hearing me talking loudly downstairs. So it's like, I've got to be mindful of that. Fair. There's been a couple where people are like, you're up for a podcast? I'm like, yeah, what time? 8 o'clock. Can we make it an hour? Totally. 2.5 hours later, I'm like, can I go to bed now, please?
Can I go sleep? Can I go sleep? That's me today.
Yeah,
it's my bedtime.
Yeah,
right
having
now.
your own space to do like create stuff is super important.
Yeah.
For sure. Or even just knowing you're not going to impact people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that's I think the big thing.
Didn't you get some news about this week, Louise?
segue.
Oh,
Good segue, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
So Rob just made a great segue. So you know how last week, how Rob baited us into being like, oh, well, if you could have your own setup, what would you like to do? And I was like, well, maybe I would like to not live in perpetual darkness in the side of a cupboard.
Yeah.
Maybe.
has that worked out well then?
So Rob has decided through the kindness of his heart, which is so big and lovely, and I love him very much, that I am going to be delegated a room downstairs.
Oh,
Next to
with
what I described as the cool people, and then Rob
She
got
said
upset.
yesterday, I can finally be downstairs with the cool people.
I meant like Chris and
There's only-
Morgan.
There's only one person upstairs, Mr. Peach. It's me.
I think you're really cool. I want to get. Shut up.
wow, that's a burn.
Honestly, I do think Rob's really cool, but
but
they make
everything before
And then
that
you
is
describe me as
bullshit.
inbred.
I did describe you as inbred because you were a sandwich. Oh, that was quite funny. But it's where Curtis makes all his miniatures. There's Chris and Morgan and Jack from Caesar Inc. downstairs. They do the My Little Pony role-playing game. And apparently it's cooler down there in summer, which is really nice. So I kind of don't really know what to do. Like, I'm a bit in shock.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love my tiny corner. I announced last night on my stream that Rogue Hobbies was moving.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't really know what to make of it. I'm gonna have to design another set.
Because people don't know, me and Louise basically share it. Basically, Louise moved into like a section of my office. We like split the office in half.
Half,
and I think
Rob, half.
it is half. It's half and then the old granny chair.
Oh yeah, there is a granny chair section.
This is about to get a glow up. I'm so excited.
Can we get you like a nice? Oh
No, the granny chair's staying exactly where it is.
I remember
It's
when
got
I
it's got
remember
that
when you-
soul of that old lady that's in there.
It hugs you when you sit down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
It feels like
It's-
a warm hug from a dead granny.
Yeah, it's good
It's
energy.
lovely.
That's why I drink some bone china and it's just the spirits just swirling around me.
Very weird. But it means that what are you thinking about doing when Rogue Hobbies vacates?
Honestly,
Spreading out.
just streaming for hours at a time. No.
Naked.
It's super nice having you in the space. But I agree with what you said last week. And if you don't know, that was in the Patreon video, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was in the Patreon
okay.
video.
So in a Patreon video, I kind of felt really bad because when I left G-Dubs, Rob, out the kindness of his heart, yet again, was like, you can have a corner of my room where I have worked for the last 7 years. And that's huge. It is a very tiny corner. I love it. I think it's worked out absolutely great. But I was like, well, in an ideal world, I wouldn't have to army crawl 5 times a day whilst Rob streams in order to get to my corner. Yes. Like, because this is...
I think the worst. I think the worst thing
it's
is
the
for me.
scheduling.
It's not even for that. It's just like the perception that you can't go into work until because I stream 11 till 1 Monday to Friday. So Louise can't be like, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I've had my cereal. I'm into work. Yeah, she's
And
like,
it's chill
and it's just
and
a
it's quiet.
countdown until some dickhead just starts screaming at a monitor like he's not some sort of lunatic in a room on his own.
This is one of the things
Like-
that blew my mind about people being like, oh, you have to come into work because it's a more healthy environment, right? And I'm like, I have never worked better working from home. When I go into work, there's people like shouting, like yelling, talking about shit I don't care about, like coughing, and like I just want to turn up and just be by myself and get on with my work.
But I still think having a studio is like having all your paints in a place, maybe having a dedicated photo spot.
I honestly, I
'cause
don't know what to
we
do.
all need to do like physical stuff, right? Like that's what we do. Yeah, so
It's
it'd be
crazy. So like, I don't know what to do yet with my feelings and emotions. I'm very grateful for Rob and obviously Nathan, who will be helping us out.
cool. Nathan Prescott.
Is he here?
Nathan, no, he's over there just working.
He's
Nathan's
making.
That's why we've moved.
at
'cause
the other
he's-
side of the bunker.
Yeah.
Well, we've also moved because Rob, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, what have I been up to? So we're having some renovation done in the venue, which is really fun. So we've got a couple of the venues. So the TSN Arena where we are in Nottingham. So I run events here every weekend, which is fun. But also it's like that. Really sad to say. There's a really good conversation or show we could do about the false economy of gaming venues in the future.
You fucking what?
The false economy. But we'll talk about that. We can talk about another show because I want to get on to Silence on Parade.
Oh yeah, me too.
The So we've got like a bunch of projects planned, and we're going to be here for a couple of years now.
So one of them is that we just want Rob to have a nice room to do his job for Rascal Town.
Yeah, because kind of the point of
the
this,
very least we can do.
The point of this podcast is has been, we talked about it, didn't we? Like you end up on an accidental journey.
Yeah.
So the 3D printing room is an old girl's toilet.
Not for old girls.
Not for old girls. No. Like it's the ladies' toilet of a nightclub, and. It's genuinely what it is. And you know, I made do, and then I was like, this is where I'm going to print some stuff for me.
The sinks were kind of handy.
Yeah, there's like a closed, well, no, yes, I didn't pour anything down there.
But like the surface
yeah,
was
the surface,
kind of
yeah,
handy.
exactly. But yeah, like
obviously
it was a
do not
closed
pour
room.
resin down sinks.
Exactly, yeah. But then as obviously Rascal Town has increased, I'm kind of like, this is quite a punk venue for being a manufacturer.
Well, this is it. Like, it was all well and good when you had your weird 3D printing addiction for 4 years.
Yeah.
But then we were like, we want you to be our full-time manufacturer for a miniature company.
Yeah.
And I
made do.
Very well, but it's just not fun. It's just not nice.
No, but with new
I want you to have a nice place.
Thanks, very kindly. Thanks. With 2 new goblins on the way. And
two little babies on the way.
That's how
we said it. 2 little ones on the way.
2 little babies on the way.
Cooking.
And obviously then we got Salute and a bunch of other stuff and big trade shows.
And now that I've started making my own miniatures.
So there's a lot of work and graft that's going to start going in that room. So yeah, Nathan, who is my like just a wonderful human being, my friend.
You can say best friend.
Yeah, he's just the best guy.
Okay, look at him, he's so happy.
We've done videos together and stuff. He's great, but he's like his full-time job is a builder. So he's like knocking that through, which is why we've relocated
to the bunker.
And then he's going to do Louise's office and like knock out that and make that nice. And then we're having the roof fixed and stuff. So there's like a bunch of stuff that needs to happen in the venue.
Yeah.
Which
but
is
also
cool.
it's an excuse for Rob to see Nathan every day for like 2 months. So
yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I just keep making up jobs. I'm like, sing downstairs a bit leaky. Do you want to do that? And it's like, I've not really got time. And I was like, but we can have lunch. Like, what do you want to do? Just want to hang out.
Just slam a couple of nails in there and we'll go get burritos.
Yeah.
Like,
so if you could, if anyone could just join the Honest Wargamer Patreon so I can just hire Nathan for 1 more day, please do let me know. That'd be great. Yeah, just
support Rob by getting him to pay for his best friend's time. Yes, that's what I do with Peachy.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
That's why we made this podcast.
Yeah,
so we could just hang out with you more.
So I've been helping obviously like liaise on that, and with Louise's studio, for instance, there's like storage is going to be a thing.
I don't even know what the time scale is for my studio. I've put it to the back of my mind.
Oh yeah, but there is a lot of like things to solve because actually, like we set this place up as like an event venue. And Louise really runs a successful YouTube channel and mini company out of here now. And then I run a manufacturing company out of like girls' toilet.
Old girls' toilet.
Old girls' toilet. You know.
Those old girls always pissing.
So yeah, just trying to like rearrange the space as well as possible. And if you're from not the UK, the UK is literally like a fucking Harry Potter world, no turfs. Because obviously like it's, you know, a Diagon Alley, everything's stacked on top of each other.
Oh yeah, everything's tiny, expensive and built up.
Yeah, I did the stat show on Monday where I do the HTML stats.
Yeah.
And there was a gaming venue in just like Missouri or something.
Oh my God, was it just wide?
It was fucking ludicrous. Yeah, because whenever I do this the stat show, like whenever there's an event, we like click the Google link to the event, and then we go on Google Maps and we look around. We're like, oh, pizza shop nearby. You go for a pizza. One of the guys in the chat was like, went there actually. Rob, really nice. I was like, great. Like, you know,
puts you with them.
Yeah, it puts you in the space, right? Yeah. And but it was just this absolutely monstrous building, and I was like, "Oh, they've only got that corner," and they were like, and the guys were like, "No, the other 2 businesses closed. They got the whole thing," and I was like, It was just huge. It was like 3 car showrooms. It was massive.
That's insane.
It was massive, and I was just like, and then around it, just fields.
Yeah,
just acres of fields and roads.
Just room space.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So yeah, this space is quite small, especially for like how many other things we have going on here. And then when all of that stuff is
I think we've done very well.
Yeah, when me and Louise are making videos or whatever, like at the weekend, like this weekend just coming, I've got an Old World event, and the weekend after I'll have an Age of Sigmar event. And then, you know, this is what the 80-90% of the floor space is used for. Yeah. So we're just trying to like make it a little bit better and plan for the future.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do with the Rogue Hobby space? Are you going to have a full-time painting desk?
I could do. Potentially.
Like, just have yourself a hobby place,
yeah,
right?
it'd be quite originally.
You wanted an editor.
No, like yes and no, but like originally this space was set up so that my office is a soundproof room.
Yeah.
And then the idea was, and still is really, is that when we have events, we like live stream the tables. And it requires, then you would have commentators in the room, which is where I work, which is, we've done many times before. Commentators like esports and stuff. But then, that's basically what it was set up to do. But what's cool now is because the technology's moved on and some fun new stuff, one of the tables we've got set up with like a load of cameras to record. So what we can do is we can have someone who is sat remotely. I mean, you could technically have someone sat at home, like literally at home, like Peach, you could do it as an example, but they can manually switch all the cameras so someone can live edit.
Got you.
As an example. Yeah. So that'd be quite a cool thing to maybe like add in to that little station, because I'm going to consider it to be like a little station in my head.
Oh, my old house.
Your old house.
You're turning it into a weird boy thing.
I do find it weird. I mean, I had a dedicated space where I am, and it's just become like Jenga now because the boxes pile. And you end up getting used to that box being there. You work around that, then the new box appears.
That's what it used to be like before I was there. You had like 4 shelves and a sofa, and it was just the dumping ground.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, like when you were originally like, this is going to be your space, and I'm like, you cannot even fit a desk in here. But when you clear stuff out, it's a lot of space.
I mean, it's nice. Like I know you say this about Louise, like stop sending us stuff, and I'm at the point where I'm having to stop people sending me stuff because the Luke Studios video I did, they were like, "Oh, we'll send you a box." I was like, "Cool,"
but
the box was a box of boxes.
So nice. So what I've started doing,
what are you going to do with all of that?
What I've started doing is bits boxes for individual miniatures and having different like because a lot of the things that I get sent are from like small companies who make individual tiny goblin miniatures, which I love, as opposed to like bigger box sets, which are the kind of thing that you like. So I've gotten better at like taking things out the packaging, keeping like the little bit of paper it came with, and like sorting it out into a bits box like that.
I kind of like the packaging because it's good for like the backdrop and stuff.
I know you're right.
But I know that's from my point of view because
you're 100% correct. I absolutely love packaging as well.
Nice,
I take back every smug little thing I ever felt in that sentence. I am a hoarder of packaging.
Yeah, I did. I think it's just a situation killing you, darling. So I've kept all of my Shatterpoint boxes.
You love them,
and I kept them all. And then the other day I was like, looking at the shelves. I was like, there's no more room. So I broke down all the Shatterpoint boxes. I've kept them like flat. So if I want to rebuild them for something, I've done that. But some of the big boxes.
Have you thought about cutting out the front and the back and making like a folder of them just so you can have like.
That's a cool thing. I think like Peach, I
want to start doing that
have
with
like high-minded ideas that I could use them as a backdrop or something. I don't know.
I'm going to start doing that with my Gundam because people like frame their Gundam box cover arts and it looks so good.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool idea.
And guess what I'm going to have soon?
What?
A wall. I don't.
You have a wall.
I actually don't.
You got one in the front. You got the front one.
Loads of paints on, haven't you?
That's literally full of screen.
I mean, Steve got me a beautiful Christmas present. He got me, I think it's the Siege of Badhoff, which is like a Napoleonic battle where like the British are like putting up a flag and stuff.
It's a very peachy
and
present.
It's very nice. And I'm like, got this beautiful painting that Steve's got me for Christmas. I've got nowhere to put it. And obviously I've got all this.
That's why we need the bunker.
Boxes. Yeah.
New bunker.
New bunker.
Yeah.
Juggz bunker.
Juggz bunker. We should get one. If anyone is rich and would like to just buy us the Juggz bunker,
oh my god,
please do. If you're like, listen, I'm a millionaire.
Dummy rich.
Just dummy rich. You just buy us a building across the road so we can just have a bunker.
Do you like us?
Yeah, anyway, so just to catch up, so I've been helping. So obviously, I also like pseudo manage this building as well, which is a lot to organize.
Yeah,
sorry.
On top of everything else you got to do.
Yeah, which is
sorry.
fine. Like,
we're sorry, we're a lot.
Oh no. My dream is to have a venue in the future. Like I'd love to. I mean, we have one now, but we rent it, right? So obviously, we lose tons of cash. So in the future, I'd like to have a place we own. And I've always said, I think you need to prove yourself. So like, I think in the future, like if ever in the future, I'm like, hey, here's a Kickstarter. I'd like to get a venue. Please help me.
It'll look good on your CV.
Yeah, exactly. I think people are like, yeah, that guy's proven himself. He's like, time and again, like gone out of his way.
It's not like you're doing it on a whim. It's like, oh, you've been doing this for 7 years successfully and you'd like to keep on like making a good experience for people that come to your venue.
But there's a really big difference between like, you know, you can pay wages and you can pay your bills and that's enough money to buy a new building. Do you know what I mean? There's a significant jump. And I'm sure many people watching this are like, I'm in the same boat. I'm renting a house or renting a flat or whatever. But like, I'm never going to be able to save the money to buy a place.
The entrapment of renting makes me furious.
Oh my God, do you want to just pivot the podcast? Because I'm ready. I'm up for it.
Like,
Landlord's in jail, let's go.
When I was living in my old flat, like I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck. Like my landlord was living my paycheck to my paycheck. Yeah. And it was so annoying.
I've really enjoyed the radicalization of Louise over the past few years. Because
it's true. Good. Because like I was working so hard and then my landlord took like 60% of my money just so I can have the smallest place to live. And they go to Tenerife
for a couple of weeks on your cash.
Yeah, you don't even go to Tenerife.
Like he was living my paycheck to my paycheck.
What I found really weird was when, because we got a mortgage years ago and we were quite lucky to get what we got. Mm-hmm. And the mortgage we were paying was so much less than the rent of some of my mates.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
And I was like, and they were going, oh, we can't get a mortgage. I was like, what do you mean you can't get a mortgage? You're paying more than I am, and I've got a mortgage. Yeah. I don't understand the maths here. It's, I mean, obviously, if someone out there is an accountant and a mortgage broker, will probably understand the maths, but it's insane.
Sometimes it's just hard to get into. Like, no one teaches you as well.
No, right? Not a lot of good life skill.
I agree with you. And obviously, there should be laws and stuff passed, but another show.
But right now.
Do
you want to talk about?
So and then all I've done. Oh, hold on. I've just I've been doing that, and then I've just been making videos. Obviously, past few weeks.
And tonight, goblins.
Yes, I'm probably going to be reviewing Gloomspite Git's book as well,
nice.
Which is pretty exciting. I think people are excited about that. I made some fun videos this week. I did stat show. I've done painting. We did our painting competition this week, which is cool.
The winner looked very cool. Well, there was a lot of top ones that looked very good. There was. So just on once a month now, because now I do a painting show every Tuesday, and then now I'm like once a month at the last Tuesday of the month. I do a thread in the Discord. I'm like, jump in, show us what you've been painting. Do a little hobby roundup. I miss doing that on stream. I have to.
I should do that.
I want to go back to doing
fun.
it. And maybe if I incorporated a prize, that would be cool too.
What's also really, you should. And what's also really nice. What's also really nice is like the community get to like share with each other.
Yeah.
So it's not just like
because you drop your cool miniature and everyone's like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's cool as hell. Yeah. And also because the people in the Discord are people in my Twitch chat, and often they're in the Twitch chat every day. Then there's like a cross reference. Yeah, it's like a community. I know like Tom Pershaw are local to each other now, and they play games with each other. So like who they've met through the Twitch chat and then through the Discord and stuff. And I love that. I think that's super
very
fun.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then it becomes like a collaborative community. So did that. And I'm trying to figure out what else I did this week.
Loads,
I did
just so much.
Ran an event at the weekend.
Emotional support.
Oh yeah,
I tried that.
Tried that.
Gave that a go.
Tried that. What videos have I made this week?
Val came around.
We did High Elves. We did because High Elf Arcane Journal's coming out soon, so we did a kind of review of the High Elves, and I was a bit salty because it's just not very good.
Oh, okay.
But that's because there's like a structural problem with the High Elves. With Old World. I think that's it really. I feel like I made some videos.
You made some videos. You did some shorts.
I've started doing shorts.
Yeah, I did a short for the first time in a long time as well. So
yeah.
I find that have you been having this when you change your orientation on Premiere Pro?
Yeah,
and sometimes when I upload it to YouTube, it doesn't upload it as a short.
What?
Yeah, I don't really have the time to do like. So I have I had some goals this year, and every single day a little task comes up. It's like do a short.
Yeah,
and every day I go, shut up, I'm too scared.
Stop it and shy.
So I was like, leave me alone. And so I did one. I was like, I'm doing a short, and it just stopped. And I was like, what am I doing? You're such a goon.
It was like honestly so watching bad. Cloverfield. I'm so startled.
So then what I thought would be sensible is to break down my YouTube videos and my clips into shorts. So do it that way.
Yeah.
Instead of making dedicated shorts, just being like, right, you do a lot already, just have that cut into like maybe more digestible chunks. Yeah. So I've done that, and like I put them on TikTok, and they got like 0 views, and that's fine. You're just starting off.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just doing what I'm doing.
I liked it.
Thank you, Louise. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, lots of that, and then I've got lots of stuff coming up. Like a big review is going to be a big deal tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Is
gonna.
this the Gloomspite one?
Yeah, will
He's
be.
gonna be until late, so I'm just gonna go home, cook a ham,
Make some raw potatoes.
cook a whole ham, and look out the window and wait for him to get home. Just sad. I cook a ham actually. It's not
You should
shit.
cook a ham.
Just look
Cook a
at it
ham.
and watch.
Yeah,
You should cook a
that's
ham.
all I do. I
Cook a
don't
ham.
entertain myself. I have separation anxiety.
Talking about, do you know what ham is good in? It's good inside Sarnies, which brings us to Sarnies on Parade.
Sarnies on
So
parade.
shall I
I think you should lead
summarise?
because you kind of did the post on
Summarize
Blue
the
Sky.
debacle. I didn't do the post. Some other guy.
I'm just going to put my feet up as I'm about to check
Cygnus
the hell
Maximus reposted your post, and that's when I
Oh.
discovered about the
So
post.
let me credit the original poster.
out. Okay, that's exciting.
So
not
this is on
Manstack, is it?
it's on Blue Sky and Shitter as
Manstack,
well.
Mandak? No.
So here we go. So it was by Hero Hammer,
Not that
Ricky Kitbashed. Ooh, unfortunate. Oh, I see.
Really?
Right.
I love
so
Ricky. Ricky does some
they-
amazing stuff.
I don't think I know them. but
You've,
this
he's
is-
probably been on, you know, we used to do the Hobby Roundup.
Yeah.
We used to have Ricky on that a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I definitely
You
know.
will
Oh,
see
see,
him.
Bash Ricky.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. It's yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so we know and love Ricky. I just saw their profile.
Hi, Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
So thank you for drawing attention to this. So Ricky obviously is a fan of Armies on Parade, and if you do not know, Armies on Parade is
Yeah, what is it?
it is
What is it?
Games Workshop kind of hobby competition. Now, not a painting competition, a hobby competition.
Oh, I thought it was just a way for them to sell one square of their gaming boards.
Oh, well, they don't
Used
sell
to be.
those anymore. Yeah. So now you're on your own, bitch. But either way, it's a hobby competition and it's great. And I used to enter it every single year. It was my favorite. I prefer it to like Golden Demon because I think it's more of a kind of, oh, is something cool as opposed to well painted that'll be celebrated just as much as like.
I think it's a celebration of the hobby as a whole as well. Not just, I mean, not saying that Golden Demon isn't that, because it is.
Yeah.
But there's so many more factors in there.
And I find it like, it's just wacky and cool.
Yeah.
And it's a celebration of people's personal armies. And it's just like a really cool competition. Either way, it's held in stores. And then recently there's been like online entries in which you can win like the ultimate prize. But before
What
that,
is the prize?
it's just some kudos. Some kudos.
The ultimate prize is kudos.
Shut up. And a trophy.
The ultimate prize
And a
is-
trophy. And I think shut up.
That's such a
think there might
that's
be-
such a Games Workshop. Like the box of ultimate prize, and you're like, oh my god, open it. Well done.
Stick their hand in and just like, there you go.
Yeah, the manager puts his hand through the box and just shakes yours.
I think they might get a gift certificate for like
Yeah,
100
they get
quid.
something.
That's still pretty good. It's not a trip to Japan, Gundam, but either way, it's a cool prize. It's one of my favorite, like,
It's a really good way of
things.
expressing your creativity as well, isn't it?
well, interesting you say that, Peachy. So to make it about myself, I have entered Armies on Parade on a bunch of years, but 2 of the times that I won gold were with my Snakebite 40k orcs.
Amazing.
And back in the day, I can say that now, there weren't the Beastnaga orc miniatures. So if you were a Snakebite player, you kind of had to make a lot of shit up.
Yeah.
So you'd get your like Savage Orc kits and you stick guns on them and it looked really cool. I did a bunch of like Stegodon conversions into war buggies. I did a Thunder Tusk as a Squiggalope.
Even if there was Beast Snaggers
Oh.
then, would you still have used
Absolutely not
Savage Orcs?
Squiggalope for life. I love it. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, and then I used fluff. I used a bunch of like old squigs for like instead of grots, and it was very cool.
Yeah.
Like it was an army that like did quite well online. That's why I have my username Savage Orc Guy, because it was like my main army. And so yeah, I won Armies on Parade twice. I got gold for that. So they recently just released a new update for the rules for Armies on Parade.
Have you judged Armies on Parade?
Yeah, judged it twice as well.
Okay, worth mentioning, I reckon.
Maybe. Either way, so
Pretty important to mention.
whatever. Either way, so they've just released an updated like rules, kind of like FAQ for Armies on Parade, and I will read out if
Okay.
you like.
Ooh.
It's like a clock situation all over again.
It's worse.
It is.
It's worse.
You're free to make use of conversions too. Want to combine Acolyte hybrid parts with Cadian Shock Troopers to make Twisted Genestealer Cultists? Go for it. You can even use components from different Warhammer game systems where appropriate. All well and good. such as incorporating the Necromunda Zone Mortalis terrain into your Warhammer 40k display board, quite specific, or using Sylvaneth parts in your Warhammer Age of Sigmar to customize your Wood Elf army for Warhammer the Old World.
So fantasy to fantasy, 40k.
So this is where it starts to get like, oh, this is literally the fucking worst. And Peachy's like, oh, fuck.
All my armies are now.
Shut up. However, you can't mix the actual settings. We can't have a Norn emissary on parade alongside Lord Croak. It's fucking dumb. Or, they didn't say that. And Cetra the Imperishable can't march into battle with Lionel Johnson. Like, okay, fair. But this is like the highlighted bit.
Yeah.
See, that's gone to the extreme.
No,
They've
this
immediately gone
next
to
bit,
the extreme.
This, like, I'm already kind of like, okay, sure. But now this is the extreme. Parts and components from miniature sets in the 41st Millennium and Age of Darkness may not be combined with those sets from the Mortal Realms, World of Legend, or Blood Bowl.
Okay.
So,
There's
been many times where I've found the perfect head.
Yeah.
Found the perfect head.
Yeah.
And I've got a cool Sister of Battle army. Oh, that's a really cool Stormcast head. It's a bear head. It's got a nice little sort of like headdress. Looks like Catherine Janeway.
Angry.
She looks a bit angry. She's got a nice little bit of a bob there. Perfect. Oh, I can't do that. I'll get disqualified.
Yeah.
Okay. For that one head.
For that head swap.
Yes. You can't swap because that's from Age of Sigma. You're putting an Age of Sigma human head on a 40k.
The way I said it,
that's at least how I'm interpreting it now.
It is because it says parts may not be
Ventrilian
combined.
Nobles, dead.
Ventrilian Nobles, dead.
Yeah, 40k kits with Warhammer heads.
Okay.
Like,
so what's been okay, so I'll try to take the lead at the moment.
It's just crazy. Like, it's just wild.
What's your response to it in your head?
So
you go first because we have different thoughts.
Okay.
Actually.
So I'm going to play a little bit of a devil's advocate.
Put on your dickhead hat.
I'm going to put my dickhead hat on, and I think, is this to do with the fact that we're getting lots of new people in because of the potential Amazon deal, right? Cool, I get that. You don't want to muddy the waters. But if you're invested in the hobby, or if you're new to the hobby, you probably won't know Armies on Parade exists or Golden Demon. You'll only know those when you start getting into the hobby. So you're aware of the hobby and you understand the IP and this, that, and the other. And you go, you know what? I'm going to enter that painting competition this year because I really like my Imperial Guard, but I want to do something different. I want to make up my own regiment. Oh, okay.
Literally exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I would do it. That's how a lot of people have done it across the years. Ricky's done some amazing conversions and stuff. All of his stuff is like kit bash to the nines, and it looks amazing, but it looks thematic. It looks like it is from whatever setting, regardless of what bits is used.
That's what good kit bashing is.
Well, it's been creative with the stuff that's out there. Now, I remember when we were back in publications and we used to do White Dwarf stuff, when we used to do armies and things, but like, when a new race is out, this used to be the bottom line, and I got it. When a new race is out, don't screw with it for White Dwarf.
Yeah, we want people to be excited for the new release. And I kind of get that.
Because what you're saying is whatever's been sculpted is incorrect. And I
was surprised when they let me do the Spy Ranks with wings, for example.
Well, that's fine though.
When that first
how
got
long
released.
has that been out?
A while. No, but when it got released, it was part of like the new release of the Spy Ranks to get people excited for it. And I was like, I very expressly was like, is it okay if I do this? I know it's a little bit like, and they were like, absolutely fine.
I mean, it's like a chaosy thing, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
You chaosified it up.
Either way, but I'm aware that's a thing.
But but it wasn't until like a couple of months later that you could start messing around with the kits and stuff. And it kind of, it's a weird take. And I'm going down the route of it's making it more Puritan. It's making it more like 40k is 40k, Age of Sigma is Age of Sigma. This is the divide because we've done it with Lord of the Rings. You can't use Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah, so Lord of the Rings, this has been a rule for a very long time because of Warner Brothers, right? Being like, well, we want you guys to be in charge of presenting our IP correctly, which is like everyone kind of accepts that.
Yeah, you don't want a Bilbo coming out of a Tyrannofex's ass or anything.
No, wouldn't want that.
What's
wouldn't
wrong
want
with that? Sounds great. But I mean,
drums in the dark.
So here's a great example, Rob. When I was getting into Age of Sigma quite a lot. Sorry.
It's just like the drums in the dark. sorry. So
if you look at a lot of the art for early Realm, do you remember the Realmgate Wars?
Yes.
Realmgate Wars, there was some big
truly atrocious books, but really,
I mean, there's a lot of learnings from those books, but there was a lot of cool art, and some art had like these Skaven war machines, right? Which looked a bit like the weird spider from Wicked Wild Wild West.
Yes.
So I was
I'll go to bat for as a movie, just saying. One of Will greatest pieces of work.
But those walking machines, right? There's nothing in Age of Sigma that you can use to make that.
Yeah.
But there's lots of cool mechanical parts in 40k that you could use to make your own version of that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a really cool centerpiece for my Skaven army. And I'm going to do Clan Skyra. And I make one of those big walking things with like warp lightning cannons on the side, this, that, and the other. No, because it's
such a, what you're describing, like, this is why a lot of people are like, I don't know how to react to this. Because it's such a fundamental part of the whole hobby that no one really understands why they've said that. Like, the most, I think, unforgiving takes are ones like Peachy's with the dickhead hat on, obviously, which is like, oh, so they're starting to be a bit more, like, pernickety with their IP, like how it's presented, right? And it's like, but still, they are it feels like whoever wrote that fundamentally misunderstands the way that most people interact with the hobby, which is like, yes, okay, right. So starting from the beginning, this is my take. I think what they were trying to say and what the sentiment they were trying to convey was one similar to Golden Demon, where they want the entries to be within the IP of Warhammer.
Yeah.
So an entry which is Croak high-fiving Gilliman would be disqualified because it wouldn't happen.
Because it looks dumb.
I disagree. But you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen in Warhammer, right? Yeah. And that's why Hattie's Nightmare Before Christmas thing got
it'll be shown on
rejected.
The community site sometimes.
Maybe. For fun. And then like one which was Marnia's Calgar on the toilet, that got disqualified. So things which wouldn't happen in Warhammer, not really what we're looking for. And I think that's what they were trying to say. But I think whoever wrote that is trying to enforce it in a way which, like I said, just goes against how most people interact with the hobby. Because, like, it's kit bashing. They have a whole show called Kit Bash, like, thingy on Warhammer Plus now. Like, they actively promote kit bashing, and it seems...
But you got to keep it within the same range.
But yeah,
I can't even do my Sisters of Sigma anymore.
It's crazy. Like,
I can't do my Sisters of Sigma.
What's been the community reaction?
Oh, just... like disbelief. Like, this is people being very, like I said, unforgiving with the translation of it, which is literally Games Workshop are trying to fuck us. Like, and again, Armies on Parade isn't like Golden Demon, but even then, Albert Moretto Font was like, some of my Golden Demon winning entries recently has used Age of Sigmar parts in it.
Can I also say,
40K.
As much as I love Tom Hughes, that's not a kit you can buy. His bust, his Tau bust.
Oh yeah,
and that's fine.
But it looks cool. It's very
that
IP.
Should be fine. I think,
but it should be fine, and I accept it. But if you're making these rules for Age of Sigmar and Armies on Parade, then maybe we should only be using kits that you sell for Golden Demon. This
is what they were saying. It's just like, okay, so is that going to be a thing in Golden Demon? Because loads of the like winning entries, like they'll use feathers from a Seraphon kit,
which makes so much sense,
or something on. It's just wild, like. Because they've made it like, because I was like, oh, come on, it can't be that serious. But the wording is very, very clear that kits from this range cannot be combined with this range. So someone's like, oh, so I can't use bat wings from Blood Bowl on my Night Lords. And it's like, no, that's fucking crazy.
So I just want to be clear about something. Obviously, it's not the biggest problem in the world right now. Right. I get that. I'm focused on that. And I totally understand. But from a creative point of view and someone that's invested in the hobby, it's a weird take. And I think it's a weird business take, because I would happily buy,
100%.
Well, spend 50 quid on a kit for one head.
Yeah, people do that.
Yeah.
I've
been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And I think it's a weird take. What I am going to say is I've noticed there's been some draconian measures over the years, and it's gotten worse. And I remember a conversation between some managers when I was in miniatures, and we were talking about decals versus sculpted
details.
Details. Mm-hmm. And they were like, what are your thoughts? And I was like, I'm not fussed either way. I mean, sculpted details cool because it's easy to paint, but I quite like decals because I can put my own stamp on it. I can make up my own.
Me and Tom had this conversation about whether or not to sculpt in tattoos recently onto miniatures, and I said no because I quite like.
You put your own on.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, the idea of me going, I'm going to make that Space Marine chapter my own. I'm going to do my own thing of it, and the response was, we don't trust customers to build our models correctly, so we're going to tell them how to build them.
But
and that was like 5-6 years ago, probably longer than that. Sorry. And it was like, and I was like, don't you think that's a bit weird? It's
a bit controlling.
It's my money. I can spend and paint them how I want. It's my money. I'm going to do that. I was like, no, we don't trust our customers to build our models.
Yeah, but that's from someone who literally isn't in the hobby, right? So what about this? So this is the thing that like posted because someone else did it, and then I saved it and posted it. I think that's illegal, but it says it's in like every single book, and it says it's your hobby after all. The galaxy is a very, very big place with hundreds of chapters spread across the galaxy. There's huge scope for conflicting, contradictory, and impossible situations. But you're not allowed to use a seraphon feather on.
Well, at least that's how it's written in
but this is it, because I was like,
written, right?
yeah, exactly, because I was like,
Not
I
as
think
intended.
like, I hope I'm misreading it. I think this is what they meant, where it's similar to Golden Demon, because all the pre-stuff they said was like, well, Dorn can't be friends with Nagash, can he? But then like, okay, that's fine, but the way they're trying to fix that is by telling people they can't combine kits like very clearly. And it is like no one understands. Pete the Wargamer, obviously.
Yeah. Massive
furious.
Kitmaster.
What do you think, Rob?
Like,
Sorry.
how it's okay. How would you like to be? Okay. There's like two ways I could approach this. I could just say with you. I could say with both of you. Yeah, obviously this is a dumb decision.
I like the.
Oh
Or would you like me to like? Or should we deconstruct it a bit more?
What do you think they're trying to
so,
do? Yeah, what do you think they're trying to do?
Okay, so it's a bit like I've always considered it to be a bit of an Emperor's New Clothes situation, including when I worked in marketing at Games Workshop. Because Games Workshop have absolutely like, and when we say Games Workshop, I don't mean that like
all the lovely sculptors and artists.
Yeah, I don't mean those people,
No.
and I don't even think sometimes often I mean the managers to a degree, like because
I love my managers in Forge World.
Yeah, good in Forge World.
In Forge
Let's be
World.
clear. Because really they are picking your pocket and laughing all the way to the bank. So
Do you mean the people right at the top?
Yeah, so like if I can ask you both a question, do you think Golden Demon and Armies on Parade is an art competition or a marketing exercise?
It's definitely marketing, isn't it?
I think it's an art competition.
Exactly.
It used to be an art competition.
That's not true.
like
That's not true. I don't agree with you, Peach.
Oh, really?
It was ever an art competition.
I like to disagree.
It's also, and for all the pedants that will say it, it's both. It's both. But like,
do you think it's one disguised as another? Is maybe a better way to describe it.
Yeah, I think also like I'm being uncharitable because it is an art competition.
Yeah,
Everyone,
and for a long time, the judges genuinely loved judging an art
Well, we
competition.
used to go all the time, didn't we? We used to love judging.
but the prizes, and all of it is.
Are you saying it's within the ecosystem of Games Workshop to make you buy more Games Workshop stuff to promote Games Workshop miniatures?
It's only done to promote Games Workshop miniatures. The fact that like, so the Warhammer Fest that was a couple of years ago was, in my opinion, the
one that we went to?
The one we went to was easily like one of the most like insane like things. And I'll try and explain it to everyone, like, and I'll try and be like really objective.
I did a video on it if you want to watch that.
Yeah, go watch Louise's video. So what happened is you paid a huge amount of money to get into an event about Warhammer.
Yeah.
There was almost nothing to do at the event, like almost nothing, and watch Louise's video to see. But the one thing that you could do is you could go and look at all the Golden Demon entries.
Super fucking cool.
Which
and that was
those
the busiest part. Like you couldn't even get to the cabinet.
Yeah, and those people paid additional money, I think, to enter Golden Demon.
I don't know. I didn't pay to enter Golden Demon.
Other people aren't you, Louise. So,
No. I don't.
Okay,
know
well,
if
you
that
might not
is-
have paid extra money, but I think you did pay. Someone can let me know. I think you did pay extra money. Not you, but people did to enter Golden Demon.
I don't know.
But either way, it was the busiest part, right? And the best display, the best kind of like the most Warhammery part about Warhammer Fest was all of this amazing art, right? And arguably, the thing about Warhammer and Games Workshop and all their products is that it's art. It's designers, writers, sculptors, painters, all collaborating. It's like a movie set, right? Like, what would Star Wars be without John Williams? Right.
Yeah.
What would the Matrix be without Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes there's like a moment in history where all of the artists come together in a collaborative sense, and it creates something a little bit better, like editing, soundscaping, and a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And I think that that's also true for Warhammer. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that need to come together to make it kind of sing. And for Warhammer Fest, it was everyone else. Like People were giving money. They're like, I'd like to come in. What's in? And they're like, I mean, it's very English. They were like, well, actually, it's just loads of other people's fucking stuff, like the British Museum. It's just like,
I see what you mean. We were going in to pay for other people's work.
We were literally giving Games Workshop money to go and access to look at other people, not Games Workshop stuff. Other people's stuff.
The sculptor sculpted it, and the artist
That's super true. That's super true. None of them saw the money for that. But like, my point is, as an event, if we take it into context, and so when I hear like with Golden Demon, like
Armies on Parade
and Armies on Parade, it kind of blows my mind that there's not. That Golden Demon is, and again, this might not be true because I know there's things like Monty Sansovino and Andy Wardle and the Cot Pain guys have told us about a bunch of other places, but it feels like in the kind of like media gestalt that, especially amongst YouTubers and stuff, that like Golden Demon is this like, it's not because Golden Demons are saying it is the thing. It is the thing.
Yeah.
Or at least to me, as a non-painter.
Like Warhammer is the tabletop miniature game.
Exactly, right? And I'm sure there's people watching this like, Rob, I don't play Warhammer. Why are you always only talking about that and only talking about Games Workshop? Like, you're super true, but when it's the behemoth in the room, it's the behemoth in the room. So the changes, to me, feel like just more of an exercise in making sure their marketing is done well. The destruction of creativity and art, like, because I don't really know what that is. Like, but the destruction of those things is intentional because it isn't an art competition. It's a paint our stuff to advertise to other people competition and give us money.
Weird. That's so wild.
Of course it is because whenever a corporation and whenever like a for-profit industry is attempting to co-opt art to do more sales, it becomes weird. Like, when you're at the cinema, you watch like the worst adverts you've ever seen, where it's like a guy making a cup of tea for a nan, and you're like, it's so unrealistic. And they're like, have you thought about home insurance? And you're like, no, fuck off. like fuck off. Like, it's just weird, right?
Yeah.
But Games Workshop obviously has done an incredible job of like inserting themselves as the de facto creative
it's sad
space.
because I want to say it right now that everybody, like when I judged Armies on Parade, when I've judged any art competition, and I know the previous judges for Golden Demon all think of it as an art competition.
Of course, and it is an art competition.
Where we respect the artists and we love what they do. But that's why I'm sure they're also sad to see this rule, because it kind of means like what you said. It's like, okay, so what are we celebrating here? Are we like celebrating the IP in the rigid format that it is that you'll control our purchases, or are we celebrating creativity? Because especially Armies on Parade, I feel was always like your weird little army, which is why my weird snake by art
stuff.
Yes.
Laura's mad creations.
Oh yeah. I wonder how she feels about this. Probably bad. Yeah, it's not been a good reception. People cannot. I've not seen a single person who's like.
It's because they're.
I think it's a mistake. They're
discussing it under the wrong paradigm. They're like, why won't you, a corporation who's using me to advertise your thing, let me be more creative? Like,
that's literally where I'm at.
Why would they let 3D prints? Like, because of course they don't sell that.
No, but I can understand that. But this is weird because, like Peachy said, I have bought like a Necrosphinx just to use a foot or something before, or a Balewind Vortex. Like, I don't want a Balewind Vortex. Do I want a cool demon prince? Yes, I'm going to buy a Balewind Vortex.
I mean, those restrictions have been around for a little while anyway. I mean, I've stumbled across them a few times. And that was from a studio point of view, and I got that because you were promoting that range.
You were representing
the range as it is from a customer's point of view, what they can access and what they can do. And one of the things we did when we did a Skaven book, I forget so many books we did, and it was go mad, do some conversions. We're doing like a big battle with it at a later point. And there was the heraldry book that came out, because there's 3 heraldry books that ended up getting made. There was an Empire one, an Elf one, and a Skaven one. And Clan Scurvy was the thing I did. And that was just kit bashing amongst the range. And there's a set, I'm going to do like devil's advocate is from a creative point of view. With those restrictions, there is another set of creative juices that will flare off.
Oh, for sure.
People.
Yeah, like sometimes it's cool to have a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it's like
I love
you're going to have to work around the system now to try and make things cool. So from a creative point of view, it's like, that's a new set of things I've got to think about, which is quite cool. So I was doing this Clan Scurvy thing, and I was like, I want some rat ogres, but I want them to look like fish. I want fishy rat ogres, right?
So
How do I
weird.
do that? Because clan skiv is like a load of pirate skaven.
Yeah.
So I got the river trolls, plastic river trolls, and I got.
Perfect.
So yeah, it was a box of river
Yeah.
trolls, 3 in a box, and a box of rat ogres, 2 in a box with like some like pack masters, and I just mashed them together.
That's a great conversion.
Painted them all, so it was like the river trolls had rat heads and the rat bodies had fish heads. And it just looked a bit gross. And I painted them all up. Manager was like, this is mega. Good job. I love that. That's really thematical. One guy was like, no one does that. No one will possibly spend that amount of money on 2 separate kits and do that. I was like, but nothing's wasted. I've used everything.
I know a Dark Eldar player who did the exact same thing for his like homunculus, his rat ogre bodies, because they have like all the valves and stuff. So for Dark Eldar
Makes
at
a
the
lot of
time,
sense.
they were very cool. And he would buy, because like the Talos paint engines, extremely expensive. He would still buy a box of those to shove a head on something.
Yeah.
Like, it's
People do that.
yeah. So,
People do that a lot.
It's something my personal belief is that it's an accident. They were trying to say something else, and they'll go back on it. They'll go, nah,
Is that
we
because
meant
you
it.
always see the goods in everything?
She sees
trying.
the good in everything.
I'm trying, and it would be, and it
But
would
wouldn't
just
it
be
be-
really sad because, like, I wonder because they've got the kit bashing show. I can't remember what it's called.
Kit Bash.
Is it Kit Bash?
I don't know.
Either way, which is great, and I wonder if
Scrap Demon.
something like that. I can't remember, but it looks really cool. I watched the one with Laura on it, and it was really good. But I can't remember. Did they combine Age of Sigmar and 40k parts in that?
Don't know.
Why is it okay for them? I don't know. It's just like I choose to believe that they've made a mistake and they'll clarify later.
Ultimately, if you would like those competitions to be like good and free and expressive, it has to be outside of the confines of Games Workshop's structure. It can't be run by
That's
them.
such a shame because they're the biggest one that attracts the most people, so it should be the best.
I agree with you, but like,
Is that why we're going to do Outlaws on Parade at Peachy?
Sardines
Outlaws at Parade.
Or
like
Rogues
it.
on Parade.
Yeah, Rogues on Parade.
Rogues on Parade.
Rogues on Parade
Rogues
works.
on Parade.
I mean, it's true for like because you're going to do some judging at Adepticon, right?
I'm gonna go to Adepticon and judge the essentially armies on parade of Adepticon with Eric and someone else that we don't know who yet.
Okay.
But Eric from Eric's Hobby Workshop, and we had a big meeting about it yesterday, and I'm like, guys, you have the opportunity right now to do something so funny because people are literally talking about armies on parade right now and their competition, they're like, you just get the weirdest boards. And I'm like, do a little promo post, be like, want to join in with the art competition that lets you do whatever the fuck you want?
Which is what art is.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, like I think it's really. I hate this conversation.
Sorry.
It's because I feel like such like the dickhead / adult in the room.
No, but that's a good person
no, but I
to be.
hate it. I hate it because I
wants
just
to
want
be the fun
I want
guy.
like everyone's like I want to go have fun. I'm like go have fun.
Yeah, but you're asking
And
the questions I might not be thinking about.
No,
And
that-
I'm just trying to forget.
yeah.
So don't be hateful. It's good. It's a good perspective.
I'm not. I'm. It
So, can I
just
just-
is advertising. Like the reasons is.
You know what you could do? You know what you could do, Rob? So I'm just going to throw this in. You could be like someone that's done like maybe, I don't know, some AI art and everyone circle jerks the guy in the podcast. You could do that. But we're not doing that, are we? We're
That's okay, right. I'm like, who would do that? Oh, I see what we're doing there. Okay. Yeah, no, it's good to have different. And like I said, my opinion's different from Peachy's,
Yeah.
it's different from yours. I genuinely think they just did a little silly mistake. Like some middle manager was like, because you know what it's like. Like the people that make this dumbass decisions don't like. So for example, in Warhammer Plus and for the YouTube guys, I think it might be different now. But for a long time, the people saying like, hey, you can make 10 videos in a day weren't the ones that understood how long it takes to paint one miniature
and make videos
and make a video about it. So I think it could be that where the person who's made like, how do we like make it so it's a bit more consistent? And it's like, a really easy way to do that is just tell them that they can only use like, yeah, that's a great idea. And they just don't understand that like 90% of people who have ever kit bashed will use something from a different system.
What I'm saying is
Like, they
that
just
like
don't know shit. They just don't know
is
shit.
with if you would like the hobby to grow, there needs to be an independent Golden Demon, and there needs to be an independent Armies on Parade, because like it's super cool. I love almost all of Games Workshop's IPs. Like
What
I do.
don't you like?
I don't know, whatever the fuck Man of War was. Right, no offense, Man of War
dare
fans.
you little
right?
ships.
Yeah, little ships.
little
boats,
ships.
mate. It's
Sorry,
just
Phil
boats.
Kelly, I apologise.
Being
right.
to wee boats.
Oh, whatever. I don't care. Like,
Fuck
listen,
you.
if it's If it's not a horn blower, I'm not in. Right?
Speaking of horn blower.
I love horn blower. It's so good.
Anyway.
Yeah, you need them to be independent because what it would be like.
Can you
I
think of an example where that's?
Give me a sec.
Okay.
Like I think it's ace that I can go and see like this amazing board that's a snakebite army for orcs. But why next to it I don't get to see a beautiful, like comfy, cottagey, moonstone board, right? And then like,
I see.
You know, like it's like, well 40k will always win it. It's more popular. I'm like, well, if you had good judges and whatever, like, and that way you actually get some cross pollination between the different communities as well, like the Moonstone community and the 40k community, which is pretty funny. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like some old nans with some doilies versus some neo-fascists. Is
that what you think the Moonstone people are?
The fucking Punisher in a tea room.
I feel like that doing like a Rascal Town video. Then it's like Trench Crusade, and I'm like, who am I?
Like a Trench Crusade goblin, like a Rascal Town.
I would make a Trench Crusade goblin.
You should, and that would be so funny.
That would be very funny.
Yeah, Trench Crusade is a really good example. Like obviously, like with Trench Crusade, super popular in the middle, loads of people are hobbying it.
Love it.
You would never see that, obviously. And everyone who's watching this can be like, no, Rob, that's a Games Workshop competition. I'm like, exactly. It's not armies on parade. It's Games Workshop's armies on parade.
Yeah.
It's Games Workshop.
Yeah.
And you need an armies on parade, right? Like you need an independent one.
But what I'm saying is that like, it's just the biggest one. And I don't mind a company having its own art competition. I think it's fine.
I also don't mind it, but it shouldn't be the de facto biggest one because then the things
but
that you're... Yes, it is. But the things you're talking about, for now, like, and the things you're talking about are the problem because, you're like,
maybe they could
my
just
creativity
fix it
stifled.
and it would be nice.
Huh?
Maybe if they just fixed it, it would be nice.
Honestly, I wasn't surprised when I read it.
I was.
At first, I actually thought that because Cygnus
I'm still
Maximus,
getting messages being like, "What the fuck?"
Cygnus Maximus. I saw it on Blue Sky, and he was just like, "Oh, it looks like Ventrilians are out," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah, I tagged you,"
and I was like, "Oh, it must mean that they're getting Ventrilian nobles out of the Imperial Guard Codex," because I'm not up to date with like 40k and Warhammer. I'm too busy like looking at like 5 parsecs and 200 hours and Silver Bayonet. So my life is around that at the moment. So I was like, I assumed it was something like the Imperial Guard army, which I expected would eventually get shot in the face because it was something I made as a bit of a fun project for myself.
Oh, but they're beautiful.
And then got turned into a faction because Wade was like, they'll be really cool in 40k. Let's stick them in. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Wicked.
Yeah.
I thought it was to do with that. And then when I read the thing, in my head, my instant reaction was like, I wasn't like angry or annoyed. I was just like, not surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, it's inevitable that would be the case.
So someone's made a good point, which is like, what about the kits that have both 40k and
Demon Prince?
Yeah, or Demon Prince, Zangors, loads of stuff like that. Yeah.
I guess that's fine because that's what they are.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I love the idea that we're about to discuss in future plans or on the Patreon episode. We'll talk about how we can emancipate the artistic community from its corporate overlords. That'll be good, right?
Why can't the corporate overlords just be nice?
And that's the way to end the show.
Why can't they do good, nice things?
It's so funny. It's like you're in like school, right? And then like you're like on the class and it's like, well, mainly because of corporations, stuff is terrible. And then like a kid puts his hand up like, so why do they let them have corporations? And the teacher's like, I don't fucking know.
It's such a good question. Like, they know what the thing is. They know that it's nice and people like it with their hearts of gold and they just shit on it.
Maybe you're unique in that, Louise. Heart of gold. Well, no, because Peachy's also got heart of gold. 2 hearts of gold over there, you beautiful people.
You have a heart of gold.
No, thank you.
You have a heart of gold.
You do. Thank you, everyone, for watching us. Peachy's about to do some really weird things with his fingers, and Louise is going to say,
love you.
Loads of love. Look after yourselves. Goodbye.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks.
Why can't they just be